Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Nintendo Pop Block here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host, and nice and excited Eddie B. Joining me is the one, the only Bossman himself, Mr. Courty Derrick. Hello, good sir. Yes.
Hello. It is a wonderful Monday night here. The Browns are currently winning, and there will be live updates this entire podcast. If you are listening to this on Wednesday, well, you already know the score of the game, and if they won or lost, but I don't, so don't ruin it for me.
And of course, we got the talented TikToker herself, Miss Courtney Woods. Hello, yes.
I'm in a new location because I went trick-or-treating.
Yes, everybody, we are recording this episode on Halloween. Hopefully, you guys had a great Halloween weekend, that you got to trick or treat with family, with friends. For some of you adults, hopefully you had some awesome costumes. If you follow me on Twitter at that retro code, you get to see my impression of Adam Hunter for Streets of Rage 4. Thank you, Corey, for making that face. And yes, as everybody can see, I have blue in my hair. It's gonna be washed out. But I asked Corey, we was talking. I was just like, should I do Power Block with my blue hair? He's just like, yes, do it. So I know you guys probably can't see it well, but if you go on my Twitter page, you'll actually be able to see me in my costume while I was at work and everything. We literally was busy at work, but I'll get into that a little bit later.
You say that.
We was. Courtney, how was your weekend? How was your week?
It was good. My weekend was pretty quick. I blinked and all of a sudden it was Monday and I had to rush around and get costumes ready. And then tonight, it's pretty chaotic. We're waiting on pizza now.
Pizza.
Yes.
I'm very festive. I got little spider earrings. So, I don't have blue hair. I wish I did. But, I'm almost there. I'm somewhat there.
Yes. Corey, how was your weekend? How was your week?
It was all right. We went trick-or-treating. I got COVID boosted, my second booster, and
Yes.
made me not feel great, but that's okay. It's just it's the risk you got to take to not be sick, is to get sick. I don't know how that works, but I got it. And we went trick-or-treating, and I posted some pictures of my kids on Instagram. So if you want to see them, they're over there. My son was Woody from Toy Story, and my daughter was Mirabelle from Encanto, and it was super fun. So, yeah. And I played some games also. Not a lot, but some.
Dad, you didn't go as a...
I went as a
cosplay?
dad, making sure his children didn't run too far.
So that was a hoodie, a hat, and pants.
Mm-hmm. Blue sweatpants.
Sick.
It wasn't a hoodie though. I had a long sleeve light blue shirt with a dark blue zip up jacket and some medium blue sweatpants. So I was very blue yesterday.
Okay.
Was it cold in your area for all that, or?
It was kind of cold. It was like 50s. It was like so. It was like 60, 61 when we left, and when we got home, it was like in the 50s.
So not good later on that night.
Yeah, not like super cold, but cold enough to where you're. It was that perfect temperature of like, I know if I don't take a jacket, I'm gonna get cold, but I know if I wear the jacket, I'm gonna be hot. So I don't know.
Makes sense.
Huh.
It's hot.
Well,
it was like 70.
Well, for me, had a great Saturday. Got to play some games. Had an adventure Friday actually after work. So I get off of work. I'm about to hit the Best Buy, and I pull up my order because I'm getting ready to go in and pick up Bayonetta. And come to find out, they canceled my Bayonetta order 3. I'm like, what the heck happened? And I think they canceled it when they was trying to cancel my Mario order. It's very weird. So I went in.
Too.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
in.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I went in, I seen Bayonetta 3, I picked it up, but then I also seen another thing, and I'm gonna do that for when we get to our show and tell. That I picked up and everything. That was kind of my Friday a little bit. Um, Saturday, like I said, I had the day off playing a lot of playing games, and then Sunday, um, I had a bad cough and everything. I took some medicine and stuff, so I'm still trying to recover from last week, everybody. Um, but actually had a certain meal that I'm going to talk about is Nintendo and everything. But I actually had a real busy just Saturday, just Sunday. But they were telling me Saturday, our candy was disappearing from my job because people were buying so much. And I had told them earlier in the week, I was just like, hey, you guys, get prepared for the weekend because we're about to sell a lot of candy. It was just like, oh, that is right. They did not expect how much candy we would sell within 2 days. This I was telling Courtney, um, that this woman came in. She asked for some Halloween candy, and I said, I don't got much. All I got is this and this. It's just like, that would teach me to stop waiting for the last minute to get Halloween candy. Lady, it is 5 o'clock at
Mm-hmm.
night where they are all trick or treating. We had this candy from mid September, and you want to
Yeah.
say that you waited for the last minute? Man,
Mm-mm.
I think just by today we probably made $2,500 in candy alone
Dang, that's a
because
lot.
people were buying bags, so they orders was coming up from 70 to 100 some dollars of them just buying candy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Candy,
uh
man. It's everywhere. It'll get you. Candy. Candy.
yeah. So we're glad that our Halloween candy is gone and out the door. They said Target and Walmart and Jewel, our grocery store, were all out of it.
Yeah.
So
I went to Walmart this morning and they have like not even costumes. No costumes, no layouts, no nothing for even the clearance section. It was just gone. I was like, dang, like I'm ready for Halloween clearance. What the heck are they doing? There was
yeah,
nothing.
nothing. So and normally around this time, for people who don't know, farmers get ready to buy candy because they feed it to their cows. The corn,
Really?
yeah, the corn syrup is the replacement substitute for corn feed. So
That's.
so there was a shortage in corn feed a couple of years back, and they didn't know what they was going to do, how they were going to feed their cows. So they was giving them candy corn, Snickers, Kit Kats, M&Ms. They was giving them all that candy because it was made out of corn syrup. And of course, the cows are loving it and all of the sweetness, but it was producing milk still, like they were doing uh their corn feed.
Hmm.
So normally since the candy goes like on sale and stuff, they offer it to a lot of farmers for the cheap. So they'll get candy for 70% off or 75% off, and they'll just buy all the bought candy. So a lot of that candy corn, the pumpkins, all the stuff that people hate, they'll give it to the farmers. They'll make some money off of it, and farmers will just uh um will feed it to the cows and make more money because they didn't have to pay that much for feed for the corn feed.
Do you think it's weird that they can feed the candy to the cows, but we can't feed that kind of candy to dogs?
Well, cows have like
Yes.
4
You know what I
stomachs,
mean?
so I mean,
Oh, they do?
I think
Hmm.
Huh.
so. They have multiple stomachs. I don't know if it's 4, but it's. I
The
gotta
more
look
you
this up
know.
now. Here we go. Cow science. Here we go.
Yeah.
How
So
many stomachs do cows have? Question mark. Quick
yeah, they
facts.
were.
Hold on. Time out from the candy talk. We gotta talk about cows.
We have to figure this one out.
Uh, cows have So they have something called a ruminant stomach, which have 4 compartments: the rumen, the reticulum, the amacum, and the abomasum. And each compartment digests differently. So it's kind of like they have 4 stomachs. I knew they had 4 something. It's kind of like a stomach. Not quite a stomach.
Yeah.
Not quite 4 stomachs, but
It sounds like it's a stomach. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Kyle's looking forward to those Twix and
Moo.
candy corn.
I also look forward to Twix. You call
Heck
me a
yeah.
cow, Ed?
I mean, the cookie and cream ones, like we'll mix to a bag or two.
Oh, hey, speaking of candy, I don't know if y'all heard this, but so candy corn last year was number 1 of the worst candy for
As it
Halloween.
should be. As it should be.
Something took its place this year. You want to know what it is?
Oh no, what?
It was Circus Peanuts, the orange candy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
like a
first place now.
It's like a 1A 1B situation. Okay, it's like they're both bad.
Yeah, but the
Well-
vote this year it was the Circus Peanuts.
Well, which is weird because circus peanuts is really hard to find in stores.
It's because nobody
Yeah.
likes them,
Rarely
so
go.
nobody stocks them.
Because I know when I eat them, they just melt in my mouth.
Oh, they're
and
disgusting.
everything.
Gross.
They have a weird aftertaste.
I mean, you might as well just use them as packing peanuts. I mean, that's basically
Yeah.
what they are.
Well, but I wonder if the recipe has changed.
Nope.
For it.
No.
It's
'Cause
been
the
the same. It's been the same for 337 years. Okay.
I mean, last
That
time
one,
I had.
candy corn, and there's something else, black licorice. It's all been the same formula since they started it. They've
Well,
never changed it.
Black licorice, I can understand. A reason I say for the peanut one is that I haven't had it since the 90s because
wow.
it was hard. Yeah, it was hard to find in stores. So I don't know if the taste is different of
have to
like
send
the
you
new
some.
company have it. Yeah, because that's kind of what happened with Hosties. Is that Hosties changed their formula after they closed.
Yeah, them and
Yes.
Bluebell did too.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Because everybody realized that Twinkies were like the worst cake treat ever. That's why.
But Twinkies was the bomb.
No, they're not. Anybody who says
Like-
they like Twinkies are lying to themselves.
Nah, the banana Twinkies are delicious.
Now, I do miss the pudding kind of pies that Hostess used to do.
Yeah.
The vanilla ones was so good. I never got to try the Ninja Turtles one.
Time out
okay.
from the podcast. Here's a Cleveland Browns update. The Bengals just tried to kick a 50-something yard field goal and they whiffed. They missed. So Browns are still winning 8-0. Continue.
All right.
Sorry. I was giving.
They're
an
going to
update.
end up losing.
Probably. That's how it always goes. We always start out great and then we always just, I don't know.
Yeah. You start getting
What-
cocky.
Words
Well-
that you can't say on a Nintendo podcast family program.
Oh, yeah, I can't say that. My bad.
So,
My bad. Just cut it out.
No, I'm saying things I want to say about the Browns you can't say on a family
Oh,
program.
Oh,
I thought it was weird. Like, oh, crap. Oh, even
Well,
worse.
well, Corey, we got some housekeeping, so I'm turning it over
do.
to you.
Oh, okay. I guess I can do that, huh? All right. So, housekeeping. We're bringing it back in full-fledged glory. This is Nintendo Pow Block, the Nintendo podcast for Boss Rush Media and the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week, Ed, Courty, and I, as well as our friends from around the internet, come together to talk about the week that was for Nintendo, including news, rumors, new games, classic trivia, snacks, and more. You can catch the show live on Monday nights on twitch.tv/Boss Network or on YouTube and podcast services every Wednesday. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Powblock Podcast and be a part of our communities in Discord and Facebook. be part of the conversation by submitting your questions to the show on Twitter or Discord. You can find all of our content over on bossrush.net. Yeah, so a couple of little pieces of housekeeping. We're about to have a team meeting to discuss content for the upcoming year for 2023, which is crazy to think that that's next year, but also like it's only 8 weeks away. So, yeah, we're going to be having a POW block meeting and probably some sort of Boss Rush meeting in the near future. Definitely a POW block meeting because we want to do more in terms of games and stuff. So, yeah, I think we want to kind of have a turning point for this show and the surrounding shows and just kind of add to it. Courty's brought a lot of great ideas in terms of social media stuff, and we now have the ability to do more recordings if one of us is not here because of Courty's ability to do that as well. So we're going to kind of talk about things, do things, find some interesting new roads to grow our audience because, I mean, POW block is just, it's our baby, Ed, right? So, yeah.
Yes, it is.
So look out for that. And, yeah, I don't know. There's going to be some cool things. So just keep an eye out, I guess. That's how that works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna just throw everything out on Monday, just be like, or no, Tuesday, and be like, surprise!
Yeah.
What is all this?
Yeah. So we're also gonna try to like, I don't know, since Standard Definition is kind of on hiatus, I think we're gonna try really hard to get the shows out on Tuesday, just so that we don't have that 1 day gap in terms of news, and then like that would mean like a 10-day gap in terms of, in terms of news for the next show. So, we're also going to try to do that, but that's a TBD situation. But other than that, yeah, I mean, here we are, housekeeping. Dunzo, if you will. Leave us a 5-star rating or review on Apple Podcasts, please. It would really help. If you are a Google listener, download iTunes and leave us a 5-star rating. Also, Spotify allows for ratings, too. But Ed, and before we get into the main show, we're gonna go ahead and do Patreon too.
Yes.
So if you want to support Nintendo POW block and the rest of the Boss Rush Network on Patreon, you can head it over to our Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. For those who don't know, Patreon is a monthly subscription-based service where you can support your favorite creators directly and receive perks at different tiers. We currently offer 2 monthly tiers: the $1 early access tier, granting early access to POW Block's expansion pass, as well as the Boss Rush podcast, Boss Rush After Dark, Talk the Walk, and 1v1 interviews. And the $5 Patreon producer tier, which grants you early access plus gets your name read on this podcast and others across our family of shows. So without further ado, let me pull up our Patreon here because I was too busy reading the notes that I didn't pull it up. Without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode of Nintendo POW block are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Rebecca Jewell, and brand new for this month, Christian Skipper. Welcome, Christian. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. And I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. We just supply you with some cool stuff for being a patron. If you are a free listener, please leave us a 5-star rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, like the video, leave a comment, tell your friends. Yeah. Check out all of our content on the website, the bossrush.net website.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody, You know what
Woo!
time it is? Snack Yes, everybody, it's time for us to talk about snacks for Snack. I'm going first because Corey, I did get the Southwestern egg rolls from Chili's, and it was delicious. Oh, it was so good.
I'm telling you, man, good Tex-Mex is just delightful. Delightful.
Yeah, I had the three appetizers. You know, so I had some honey barbecue chipotle boneless wings. Ooh, holiness! Ooh, they were so good. I'm like, I might have to order this by itself. Uh, the little burgers that they came were they were just so good. I was like, oh, this is so delicious. Had Pizza Friday for Detroit Pizza. But yes, that's what I had the Chipotle and everybody.
Uh-oh.
I found this while working.
What are they? Like the
Oh.
Snickerdoodle
Snickerdoodle
Oreos? Yeah.
Oreos.
Those are really big around
Yes.
here.
We just put them out. I haven't got a chance to taste them. I think we got them last year, but we sold out, I believe, and I didn't get a chance to taste them. So I definitely picked some up, and everything. Um, had a Whopper Junior today. Just been enjoying that. That was good. But that's kind of what I've been snacking on. I was excited because that Southwestern egg roll from Chili's is just so good. It's kind of so. This is the weird thing about me, everybody. I love the egg rolls from Chipotle, but like if I go to a TGI Fridays, I want the pot stickers. I would
Mm.
literally just order the pot stickers and their mozzarella sticks. I love their mozzarella sticks, but their pot stickers is the bomb. I would literally when to go hang out with my friends and stuff, I would get the pot stickers and the adult beverage, like a Long Island iced tea. Um,
Ooh.
Gosh, you're
yeah.
such a
Uh,
50-year-old mom.
Let me tell you,
I'll have the
when I
Long
was feeling
Island iced
sick,
tea, please. Extra
when I
Long
was sick,
Islandy.
them Long Island iced teas used to help.
Mm. I'm sure they
Very
did.
good.
Just
I
like
used to
it's
only have to.
just like the bourbon that parents used to give their babies for teething. Okay, sure, it helped just like
which
that.
which reminds me, I had some rum cake at work today.
Mm.
Oh well.
Ooh, and I will be having some tomorrow because that cake was moist. It was good. Then the alcohol kicked in. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna be toe. We all, as the management, will be toe up in this mud.
Wow, wow, wow,
Uh
wow. Oh, he's froze.
yeah, he froze.
Yeah, it's fine.
He's frozen.
There he is.
Oh, hi.
I yes. But I can't say that that was my first time having rum cake. I've never been allowed to have any as a
Hmm.
kid.
Yeah.
And my it came from one of my employees who just came back from vacation, and they shared the cake with us, and this is really good. So there we still have some there, so I'm gonna eat some when I get back to work tomorrow. Help
Ah.
me get in the mood to work. You know,
Hmm.
I wasn't
Work.
swaying. I wasn't going side to side. I was just like, ooh, this is really, ooh, this alcohol is really good. But y'all put, I'm
Wow,
like, ooh,
wow.
y'all threw it in. Um, and I was told that, you know, you can eat it. I'm like, you can eat it and everything, but once you open it, you got to eat it quick because, um, they like airbag it, like kind of like air freeze or whatever, or they seal it in the way that they seal it and stuff
Mhm.
keeps it really fresh. But once you open it, everybody has to eat it quickly because that freshness starts to go away and everything.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
we'll still have some for tomorrow that we could just like cut and eat and everything. I told this one person, I'm like, if you see me leaning side to side going this way, uh, give me some water quickly. Real
Right.
quick. Uh, that's been my snack then though. Corey, what you been snacking on?
I mean, I don't really have any real updates. We got the 5 cheese pizza from Aldi though this weekend. The Mama Cozy's 5 cheese pizza,
Mm.
and bought an extra pack of pepperoni and slapped them babies on there. Throw it in the oven for 14 to 18 minutes. Comes out all nice and delicious. And man, I gotta tell you, Aldi has the best oven
Here we
ready
go again.
pizzas. Just saying.
Here we go again.
Just saying. Nope. That's all I have to say. I'm just saying. I mean, Ed, it's no Pizza Hut. Okay, it's no Pizza Hut, but it's.
What? I agree with you. Mama Cozy's
I know.
pizza is
I'm
good.
just giving you a hard time. You know how it is. But yeah, it's I love that pizza. It's so good. So
Yeah.
that's it for me though.
Courtney, what have you been snacking on?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm about to snack on is the 2 buckets of trick-or-treat candy that I have going on. I've got Reese's peanut butter cups. I got Hershey Kisses. I got Hershey bars. I've got popcorn balls. I've got peanut butter kisses, which are like, oh my God, they're delicious. They're so good. The little, they're like in these little wrappers, like Tootsie Roll wrappers, but they're only
Mhm.
orange and black. There's not really a name for them. But I Googled it. They're called peanut butter kisses. I am praying to the gods there are peanut butter kisses in there because that's the main Halloween candy that I want. It's the only thing that I need. I'm ready for
They
it.
come in 2 color wrappers, the orange and the black one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're so delicious. That's all I want. That's all I'm hoping for. I'm gonna open it and like, oh, peanut butter kisses. They're so good. They're so good.
Okay.
So that's gonna be my snack Tendo today is the peanut butter
Mhm.
kisses. I'm gonna pray that they're in there.
All right. Well, everybody, it's time for playing with power. Corey, what have you been playing with power?
Well, I've gotten on a Tony Hawk kick again for some reason, so I've been playing that. I don't really feel that I need to talk about that game.
Oh, sure you do.
I just really enjoy it. It's kind of mindless at this point. It's all muscle memory, and I gotta say, plays really good on the Switch. Got that 60 frames a second update about 2 months ago, and let me tell you, boy, does it run like a dream in handheld mode. That's all I gotta say. I mean, look, you want to talk about some good Switch ports? That Tony Hawk Switch port, pretty good.
It is.
So, speaking of pretty good, finally got to the 8th dungeon in Link's Awakening. So
Finally.
I know I only have one more dungeon to go, and I think I've beaten the game. So I've been really putting it off, but I should probably beat that game before I continue with other games.
It's awesome.
Gosh, I love Link's Awakening. It's so good.
It's so hard.
Here's the thing. It's hard, but it's not hard. It's 90s hard, which is just
It's
like
90s hard.
which is just like, oh, you gotta trade the shoelace for the magic mirror to move the rock to swim. And I'm like, shut up, Ed.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
want to hear
still
your
stuck
garbage. I don't want to hear
in
your
the
garbage
very
thoughts,
beginning.
Ed. I can read your brain with the face that you're making. You just stop it. You just stop it. Go play, I don't know, Bayou Billy or something and tell me how easy it is.
Wait a minute. Hold up. I would never be playing that mess of a game. Oh no.
At least you
That's
didn't get the racist ripoff, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, when you were little. Okay, like this guy. Of course, I didn't really realize it was racist until I was about 15, and I opened my NES and tried to figure out which games I had and which ones I didn't, and then moving on. But I've been continuing my journey with Nier Automata, and it is a really special game. I really love the combat. I love the world. I love the story they're telling. Even though I'm not going to spoil it here, but I kind of already know what happens and what the real ending of the game is and everything, because when I wasn't playing it, I heard about 3 or 4 spoiler casts on the game because I kind of like it just looked like a game that I wasn't going to play. So like I just didn't care, and it was part of my podcast rotation on the podcast that I listened to. I was like, okay, well, I'll listen to this because like I kind of want to be part of the conversation, even though like I didn't play it, you know. But now that I'm playing, I'm like, oh man, I kind of wish I wouldn't have listened to those now, but whatever, it's fine. It's still an enjoyable game. The combat's super fun. The customization's kind of fun. And I'm just kind of chilling in the desert, kind of fighting these robot people and trying to move from mission to mission, and it's super cool. It gives me like I know a lot of people, including me at times, like to kind of hate on Platinum for certain things, like their boisterous personality with Hideki Kamiya, and like for every great game, they put out like 1 or 2 stinkers, right? Like I don't know, Ninja Turtles or Legend of Korra or Transform, you know, like these B tier kind of whatever. Babylon's Fall, to say the least. But but that Nier is Nier, and I'm sure Ed, we're going to talk about Bayonetta 3 in a minute. But Nier is the game that you point at, and you're like, this is what Platinum can do, right? And Platinum makes special games when they're running on all cylinders and they put their heart and soul into it. And we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but like Hideki Kamiya is like really, you know, what do you say? He said something like, I am indebted to Nintendo for the rest of his life for letting them do games like Bayonetta. And you know, I think that studio, for as much crap as they get or as much love as they get, they have a lot of heart, I think. And I think that goes a long way, all the way back to their Clover days with Beautiful Joe and Okami, right? So, Platinum is the game, or Platinum. Nier, I think, is one of the games that you point at and say, this is top tier Platinum. And I think Bayonetta is another game that you look at and say, this is top tier Platinum, you know? So, I kind of think like you look at Vanquish, Astral Chain, Bayonetta, Nier, and that's the Platinum that people love, right? And
Yeah.
I really hope that Bayonetta sells well, and I hope that Nier, this long tail sales of Nier, really kind of put them in a financial position to be successful, because you know they haven't really been the best financially in a sense. So we'll see. But Nier is a great game. I do recommend it to everybody, and I kind of hope they kind of look at putting that the the remaster of the first game out at some point on Switch. I know it's not the same type of game, but I like the world. I like the characters. I like the story they're telling, and I think it's really kind of. I know it's a story that a lot of people have told before, but I think it's a unique spin on this story, where humans create AI and AI kind of take over, and then humans kind of build robots to fight other robots, you know. So I mean it's basically Terminator, but you know, with a unique spin on it. And so that's kind of like my big push. This is the surprise game for me this year, and I really enjoy it. So it's made me put down other games. Like I was
Really?
Yeah, like I was legit going to I was planning on talking about Mario plus Rabbids the next month or two, right? And I have just totally I forgot that game existed essentially. Which is fine, because I know other people like it. Like I know Stephanie likes it, which I would like to get her on the show to talk about it at some point.
Right within 2 weeks, we'll have her.
Yeah.
Because I think that'd be enough time. Because like I said, I just got the game. I didn't get a chance to start it or anything. But I think that'd be enough time that people who got the game got a feel for it, then they could come on and talk about it.
Yeah. But that's all I've been playing really. Are those games.
Okay. Courtney, what have you been playing with Power?
So I've been trying to do this since I think we have like 9, 10 weeks left of the year. I thought I would do like 10 games, 10 end of the year games like that I've been playing. And so
Mhm.
my starting out game that I played this week was actually Pumpkin Jack.
Ooh, the platformer.
It's a really good game. I thought I
When did it
wouldn't
come
like
out?
it.
Like,
2020.
yeah, I was gonna say like 2 or 3
Yeah, it was
years
a
ago.
while back ago. But it turns out that like only one person really created it. It's like more like a indies game, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like the style of it, and I was actually going through the Pumpkin Jack Instagram, and he's like talking about like the idea of the game and the concept of the game. It's pretty much like the Pumpkin King. And it's basically his story before he became Jack Skellington, kind of.
Hmm.
It's like
Mhm.
a fan based story, before he takes the pumpkin off, kind of.
Hmm.
But it was really good. I really liked it.
I think you posted some pictures, right, on your social
I
media.
did.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I
is it a
posted them
platformer?
yesterday. hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3D
Oh,
platformer.
Yeah.
okay. I
Yeah, it
was
was
looking. I was
made on Unity, I believe.
Yeah. I think
because when you
I
oh
th-
go ahead, Corey.
I was gonna say I think Mark Harriman of Secret Friends Unite really likes this game. Somebody we know like really talks highly about this game, and they were talking about it the other day. I think it was Mark. By the way,
Hmm.
listen to Secret Friends Unite co-op mode. Just gonna shout that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick it up because for some reason I just never heard of that game.
That
Yeah,
surprises me. This is totally your jam, Ed.
it is. I feel like it would be when we were talking about spooky games. I think the last
Hmm.
podcast, I stumbled upon it and was like, I'm gonna try this. Why not? And I got hooked like first 5 minutes. And it's a short and sweet game. It's not too complex, but it's not too crazy long to where you can't understand the story either.
Okay, and maybe it's
Yeah,
something that maybe someone did do some coverage for this indie game, but it just fell under the radar, and like a lot of
yeah.
people weren't talking about it. So
They need to.
yeah.
It's basically to me. I feel like it's been underhyped or underappreciated. I think that's
Hmm.
the word. Yeah. It needs a little bit more love for sure.
Okay, was that it?
Yeah. What about you? What were you playing?
So
Bayonetta 3.
I'll get to Bayonetta 3. Trust me.
Hmm.
Uh, I spent Saturday, my day off, playing a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Hmm.
And because I wanted to get to the ending to this game. And boy, what a ride it is. The final boss battle is 5 battles. I'm like, oh, are you serious? And if you lose one, you got to do it all over from the beginning. I'm like, no, my lips are not this, not this. But I played that a lot of that Saturday. Just like I said, just wanted to get through it. Like I didn't focus on Xbox, I didn't focus on PlayStation or anything like that. Now, Bayonetta 3.
Hmm.
Let's get into it, Corey. I popped it in, let it do this update, and I got to say, I love this title screen.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I looked at him like, oh, I need this as a desktop when I get my new computer because this is
Yeah. How's that
beautiful.
going, by the way?
Um, I am waiting. It's all in progress.
Hmm.
I'm trying to get the one because you said get the one with the i7, and a lot of those ones with
Look,
the i7 is about.
all I care about is if your computer has 8 gigs of RAM, so we can use Zencaster again. That's all I care about.
And I that's why I'm waiting and I'm saving up. I'll probably have it at the end, closer to the end, or yeah, probably to the closer end of November. I'm saving up. I'm not buying too many games. You
That's
know,
what you deserve. You deserve to wait so you get the chef's kiss of a computer.
yes, or a laptop, whatever comes first. Um, so that's all in the process.
Hmm.
But I started the game, and hearing the story on how everything goes, I'm like, oh, Platinum's going for a very dramatic story. Uh, And what they showed, they haven't showed this in the previews or anything, but it reminded me of when they first showed off Bayonetta 3, announcing that it was coming, and it showed how she was shooting and fighting whoever, but in the end, Bayonetta loses, and that's all in the trailer and everything. So it's kind of like when you see the cutscene about what's going on, you're like, oh, okay, so this is they're doing the multiverse, they're doing time dimension and all of this stuff. But it's kind of cool on how they played it. The moment she walked out, because she is back on Earth, is on our planet or where it is, because now it takes place in New York in Manhattan. uh she walks out the shop carrying a bag full of bread uh and everything. And the way that they brought her out and everything, okay, of course her hair is braided and she have on like this pink sweater. Courtney, you might have seen this. It's the shoulderless sweater that's like it's right here and you see their shoulders and
Oh
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, and whoever designed that, I was just like, oh, she's a fierce diva on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Like she just came out. She came out looking correct. And I was just started taking pictures of the cutscene because I'm just like, oh, they really designed Bayonetta well. Some craziness happened, and you get into the actual fighting. I love this combat. This combat feels real smooth and quick, and I don't know if it's at 30 frames per second or it's at 60 frames per second. I couldn't really tell. I mean, it feels like the Wii U version, but it was just like, man, this combat feels quick and yet flashy. It feels really, really good and
Mhm.
everything. So, and then I started getting into controlling the monsters that she bring out and everything, and learning them. I now want to take time and just go into practice mode and learn combos and
Yeah.
and get them done. I will say I had trouble with my witch time, dodging at the right time. So I got to practice more on that. It felt very weird. I think I was off or something, or it felt like it didn't like start when it should have and everything. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to learn and dive into. I haven't gotten to Viola yet. I can't wait to play her levels and everything. But just the first, just the first like level out after the prologue, at when you get into the game, my goodness, it keeps topping itself. It's so in the reviews they call it over the their how this game is OTT over the top, and it keeps
Mm.
topping itself. Like I'm fighting this humanoid, this monster, and then this octopus starts coming in and destroying the ship. Like and Bayonetta takes a cruise ship and starts surfing. It's so crazy. I'm like, wait, what's happening? And then they're like, it's so bunkers. And then Radon,
Yeah.
Corey,
Yeah.
why did he have that outfit on with the little penguin and serving pizzas or whatever with the little hat with that hat baseball? I'm like, why is he in this Scooby Doo van selling? It's bonkers funny because his bro died with this black Freddy Krueger shirt on. I was cracking up, but it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm man. So that's actually one of the first games of 2023 that I think we're going to stream is the entire Bayonetta trilogy at once. Uh
Mm.
that's that's the goal. I think we have to at this point.
You have to let me know so I can go ahead and get a head start to get all three of them.
Do it. Do it.
I saw it in where was I today? At Walmart. I saw it at the top shelf. I was like, do I want to buy it now or do I want to?
Yeah, because you won't be able to find it. Bayonetta.
No, you don't think so?
No, Bayonetta. So Bayonetta 2 is actually extremely hard to find physically.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
So, and 1 is actually, Nintendo already came out and said that 1, they just released a physical edition of 1 in September and said that it's going to be extremely short printed because it's kind of like a collector's thing. And so
you can download all 3 though, right, on the Nintendo shop?
Yeah, you can. But I'm saying for like physical collectors.
Yeah.
So,
me.
Yeah, I actually, here's the thing. My new strategy this year was to buy all the games physically, and then the ones I want to play, I'll just buy digitally. Because I'm really afraid of a Wii U 3DS situation with the Switch. And if I don't have the games physically, then I'll never be able to play them again.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It is going to end up happening that way.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Well, Courty, your thoughts on Bayonetta 3?
I haven't played it yet. I was going to, and then I got caught up in Nier and Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
Yeah. Look, I want to finish the first 2 games before I play 3, right? And I'll feel like a poser if I don't play the first 2. And I have played the first 2, but I haven't finished them. And Kamiya actually came out and said, "We highly recommend you finish the first 2 before you play 3." And I don't know if that was like a sales play, but buy our games, please, so we can make more games. But also, like, I kind of feel like Platinum and Bayonetta deserve that from players, is to like play the games,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, also, by the way, if you buy 2 digitally on Switch, I think you get 1 at a discount or something.
Yeah, 1 at a discount. Yeah. Because if you bought 2 physically, when they came out, you got the
digital code.
You got the first one for free. Yeah.
So.
So I own the first game physically and digitally because I got Bayonetta 2 physically. And then I own, of course, I own Bayonetta 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I own them all physically. I own the first 2 digitally. I'm gonna buy Bayonetta 3 digitally when I play it.
Yeah.
So
it was the same. It was the same way with Wii U when Bayonetta 2 came out. If you bought Bayonetta 2 physically, you got it for free digitally.
But they shoved the disc in there on Wii U.
Yeah.
They shoved the disc in there. 2 discs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to say this because I'm sorry, everybody.
Here he goes.
This is before the second chapter. So, this starts the second chapter. They go to Rodin's hideout.
Uh-oh. He's frozen.
No.
Hello. Yep.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. So there's a shop in which is Rodin's shop, and you're kind of finding out the story of what's going on, why all of these humanoids are showing up on the planet and everything. And it gets close to the end of the cutscene, and you know, Viola, she's about to get into this long monologue and everything. But before that happens, Rodin asks the Viola. She says, "Viola, just a quick question. Are you going to introduce me to your friend?" And it's a Cheshire cat that came out of nowhere, and you're looking at it, and it's just like, wait, who is this thing? What is this thing in this cutscene? And you everybody literally becomes Rodin to be like, what in the world is this doing in my bar? And he pops out a bicycle, hops on, and he looks literally like a Cheshire cat. And Viola's just like, Cheshire. and the cat goes meow and scoots off. Oh, it's those bikes that have the big wheel and then at the back it's a little wheel. Is
Yeah.
that kind of too? The cat is on there, and I fell out laughing to be like, oh, they took the serious moment and made it literally comedic because it was just like, where did this come from? I mean, I feel like Bayonetta 3 is gonna have these touchy moments and interesting story beats, but I feel like the comedy is gonna be so much on point and everything. Cause it knows how to balance seriousness and comedy at the same time. So
Right.
I can't wait to dive more to Bayonetta 3. I am loving this game. I can't wait to play Viola and really dig into this game. And I know a lot of people said they had just beaten it and everything because they said it's about 12 hours. So people kind of beat it over the weekend.
That's
But a lot of
crazy.
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of reviewers are saying that yeah, you probably would beat it quickly
that's
if you
great.
just go straight through. But they were just like the combat and there's so much lore and stuff that's so deep into it. There's a lot of replay value to it that people are going to get
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
everything.
plus like I mean, these games are designed to replay, so you get like it's like Devil May Cry, right? Where you go back and replay
Hmm.
with your new moves and your unlocks and get higher scores per the level and stuff, right? I mean, I know I know this generation of gamers scoff at like a 12-hour game, but gosh, that excites me so much because that means I might be able to beat it in like a month. Um, look, to me, maybe we should do expansion pass on this topic, but just for me, like I would spend $60 on a 12-hour game if the 12-hour game is a solid experience, right? Like you
Hmm.
look at games like Tomb Raider and Uncharted and you know, Link's Awakening and Metroid Dread, like these smaller kind of really robust, like dense experiences, but like all wrapped up in a 10 to 12-hour experience. I would much rather spend $60 on that than something like, as much as I love Assassin's Creed Odyssey and like the RPG natures of these games, and I think that a lot of people get a lot of bang for their buck for those games. Like you look at that map and it's so intimidating. It's like I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to go. I just want a designed experience that will, give me a great week of gaming. So,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and then you have all the free to play stuff, which is just like mm, you know, that stuff.
So, well, everybody, that's been playing with power. It's time for a show and tell. I have some stuff to show and
Do
tell.
it.
But Corey, you want me to go first?
Do
I
it.
mean, I mean, the only thing I have is Bayonetta 3 physically. That's all I got. I bought the regular edition. It's over on my shelf. Um,
Okay.
I think that I have a lot of platinum games now physically, and it's awesome. So
Well, I have the Cosmic Edition of
Nice.
Mario Rabbids. This is the Best Buy edition.
what do you get with
Um,
that? What's the cosmic edition? What does that mean?
I think there's some bonus stuff that's in it, like cosmetics and everything. Yeah, includes a Galactic Prestige collection, where it's a gun, looks like a sword and another gun and
Hmm.
everything. Um,
Hmm.
and then it says your pre-order bonus, which is the Mega Bug collection, which is about like seven or eight items and stuff. And it's a code that you get that you gotta I think go to Ubisoft and put in and you'll get those. Um, I got my Persona 5 Royale. This is the collector's edition for the Switch.
Oh,
So the
nice.
box copy is like this.
Oh, your
Um,
box coffee came with a sleeve?
yeah, because mine's the collection one.
What? Hmm.
Yeah, so this is a game with with the CD and stuff,
I don't
and
want to hear
then
it.
this is the back side of it. This
That's
glossiness with
awesome.
the front.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was $59.99 at Best Buy, It literally that was the version that I got and everything. Um, so I also got to pick up Mortal Kombat Legends, uh, Snowblind, sequel to the Mortal Kombat animated movie that they did, that Warner Brothers did. That
That's
came out.
awesome.
It was the one. The first one had Scorpion in it. This one, I believe it's just another character from it. I haven't got to check it. But this one features Kano. It says the vicious power mad Kano is determined to take over Earthrealm one soul at a time. Assisted by a trio of cold black dragon mercenaries, he embarks on a brutal assault from the town to defenseless town. The choice is simple: kneel or be annihilated. Kenshi, a rebel warrior, calls on Kuei Liang, the only one powerful enough to challenge the malevolent Kano. Uh, and then it goes on this version. I got the 4K version, so it's the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital code for it. So I'll be watching that on my Series X when I go on vacation. Um, but those
Awesome.
are those are the things that I picked up. Oh, I also picked up another one. I'm sorry, everybody. I forgot to show this one. So when I got my Vacuum Elysium for my PS4, I picked up the Wind Rises from Studio Ghibli.
Nice.
Sorry that it's kind of bent and everything. But this is the Blu-ray DVD limited edition steelbook. I've never got to see this movie. So I'm excited to literally sit down and watch
Definitely
it.
need an opinion when you watch it.
I sure enough
It's
would get it.
so good.
I was telling Courtney that I want to get all the Studio Ghibli films, but then I'm waiting for all of them to see if they got some 4K versions because I want to rebuy everything in 4K if I could. Because like
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke and Princess Mononoke Spirits Away, um, My Neighbor Totoro, and the one with the girl who she turns to the old lady. Uh,
A house
is
moving castle.
House Moving Castle. Those are I want to get because everything else is like automatic. Like Porco Rosso, I need to get.
Oh,
Um,
that one's already 4K, I
uh,
think.
okay, I have to look for that one. What is the one where it was? They were in the sky. Um,
Castle in the Sky.
Castle in the Sky. That
Oh,
one I
that
need to
was a
get.
good one.
That's why I need to rewrite. Like I need to write down the whole thing and try to get it. Cause even like Ponyo, I want to get and
Yeah.
everything. Even
I think I
though the
actually have a
like
list. I can send it to you.
okay, uh, yeah, cause I need to get all of that and see what they're on 4K because I love Studio Ghibli films.
Yeah.
Some of them are hit and miss and everything, but I love sitting down and if I'm off on a day, just watching those movies. It's so good. With it.
Awesome.
Well, everybody, it's time for Family News. Corey, take it away.
Yeah, family news. So we're just gonna kind of fly through some of these. I mean, there's not really there's not really a lot of news. There's really just scraping the bottom of the barrel, to be honest. But our first story comes from actually the Witcher website. The Witcher 1 is getting a full remake from Polish studio Fool's Theory. A few months ago, CD Projekt Red laid out their development roadmap that involved a sequel to 2020's Cyberpunk 2077, a new IP called Project Hadar, and a new Witcher trilogy. Uh, Projects Sirius by Molasses Flood, and another Witcher game only titled by its codename Canis Majoris. We now know that this game is a remake of the first Witcher game being developed in Unreal Engine 5. A recent tweet from the official Witcher account stated, we're thrilled to reveal that together with Fool's Theory, we're working on a remake of The Witcher using Unreal Engine 5. We want to do this right, so please be patient. It's going to be a while until we can share more details. The first Witcher game originally came out on the PC in November of 2007, followed by its sequel, Assassin of Kings, in May of 2011. The Witcher 3 is one of the biggest games of all time, releasing in 2015 and selling over 40 million units across all platforms, including over 2 million on the Switch. The video games are based off of a popular Polish book series by Andrzej Sapkowski and spawned 2 Netflix shows and an animated series. Yeah, so The Witcher 1 is a weird kind of thing. It is actually an isometric top-down CRPG, a la Baldur's Gate or a little Diablo-esque. And, you know, it was kind of like a really niche game. And then, you know, The Witcher 2 kind of went third-person action RPG. And then, obviously, The Witcher 3 is what it is, right? Like, it's one of the biggest games of all time. I really enjoyed what I played of it, and I would like to play more if I ever had time or energy or, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, the reason why I think this was worth bringing up is just because The Witcher 3 came to Switch, and I don't know what kind of remake this is going to be, if it's going to be kind of like an open world RPG a la Witcher 3, or if they're going to stick to its roots and be a CRPG top-down type thing. But I think either way, this game could make its way over to Switch, and I just wanted to know what your guys' thoughts are on another Witcher game.
I think with it being,
should do it.
yeah, I think it's gonna be like the third-person action game, like Witcher 3. A little bit. I don't think Switch is going to get it. I think their next console is going to get it, because it depends on when this game is going to release. I think, I think they're going to try to focus on Series X, PC, and PlayStation 5 first, and then whatever Nintendo's next console is that they'll go there to release it. You know, I feel like. To me, it would be a perfect launch game for their next generation platform.
Well, I mean, keep in mind this; it's probably going to be at least 2 or 3 years before you even hear anything about it, right? So,
and that's just hearing about it. That's not it's being launched. That's just, you know, it might. That's your TBDs, you know.
Where they're taking precaution because of, you know, of Cyberpunk and everything. So that's why they switched it to Unreal Engine 5, because they feel like, since this is more of a safer bet and everything, and it's probably more easier to use in our own engine, we'll just use this to make these games look beautiful and run and play better. But like, for it, when it comes to Nintendo, I think they're gonna wait till they get to the next system and everything, because I don't feel like CD Projekt Red is going to do the Switch version or a next Nintendo version. I think once again they're going to have somebody else supporting it, because once again it's not a game that CD Projekt Red is going to be developing for Nintendo from the ground up. They're going to create the game, give it to someone else to do the porting, and call it a day and make bank if it sells. You know, I would rather have them do something with Nintendo from the ground up to learn whenever their next console comes in. I would rather have them do something exclusive for Nintendo from the ground up and everything that's outside of Richard, that's his own IP, so they can learn Nintendo's hardware and how to make games.
Yeah. Well, we know they're not going to do that. But
yeah, I know.
No, I actually think The Witcher 3 on Switch is a really great version of the game. I know, like, the Series X version and the PS5 version are coming out, and the PC version runs great and whatever, but, like, you know, we kind of, as Nintendo fans at least, we kind of complain all the time that these bigger games aren't coming to the platform. And, you know, like I was talking about with Nier Automata, and again with The Witcher, like, it might not be the prettiest version of the game, right? Like, okay, yeah, you're gonna have to make some concessions, you're gonna have to make some graphical changes, or the draw distance or the way that things get drawn in when you move throughout the world, right? But like the fact that Saber Interactive and Virtuous and Panic Button are all taking the time to put these big games on the Switch, and then you turn around and get games like like the new Resident Evil games or Kingdom Hearts games, and it's like, man, somebody could like I get like the rate of return is what they're weighing, right? But like you got to give it to companies like Bethesda and CD Projekt for at least trying, right? And Sega, and because like I played through. I mean, I've said it a million times on this show, but like I've played through Doom on the Switch. I played through Wolfenstein on the Switch. I played a lot of The Witcher. I try to play a lot of the third-party games on the Switch that come there because, I mean, A, we run a Nintendo podcast that people need to know, but also like I love playing on the Switch. Switch is my platform of choice always and will always be until Nintendo puts out a new platform, right? And I would like to see some of these games come over. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy my Xbox. I think the experience is great. Like I play a lot of games over there, but like a lot of the reason is because I can't play them on the Switch, So
right, you can't play your Destiny on the Switch.
Yeah, no.
I think a lot of people love when third-party games are on Switch because, like you said, Courty, that's the way that you prefer to play. A lot of these third-party games get completed on Switch than they do on Xbox and PlayStation and PC. And I'm not knocking those consoles or anything, but a lot of people invest a lot of their time on Switch because sometimes they're on the go. They got families, progressing in a game that maybe that probably has to rely on internet or rely on a patch or updated stuff. If people could get that instant gratification on the go and everything, then they'll, as long as it works, it can look whatever. Well, I won't say it can look whatever way that it looks, but if it looks decent enough and runs fine, people are going to invest their time into playing it. And I heard more people say they finished Witcher 3 on other platforms, even though CD Projekt Red kind of got known because of The Witcher 3. I'm happy for the sales that it got in our thing.
Yeah,
but if more people are talking, go ahead, Courty.
No, go ahead. Go good.
Oh, I just feel like that more people will literally talk and finish games on Switch than any other platform.
I mean, that's not true. But also, like, I think there are certain games that people spend more time on Switch because it's portable, and I think that's a lot of the reason why you see games like a lot of JRPGs. A lot of people play those on Switch because you're just able to throw it in your bag and take it with you if you're on the train or on a bus or something, right? You can totally just play it for 45 minutes or whatever. Or if you're on your lunch break at work, you can play it for an hour, or you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of different reasons why a portable version of a game is really handy and useful. And I know a lot of people, I actually was shocked to see that The Witcher sold over 2 million units on the Switch. I know a lot of people kind of double dipped on the Switch version. A lot of people double dipped on the Switch version because the Steam Deck wasn't out yet, and the Switch version connects to your PC save. So if you want to take it with you,
really,
you can connect your PC save to the Switch version, and then you can transfer it back as you play. So that was a big draw for a lot of people.
It had a lot of PC games that would come to Switch had that cross save feature.
Yeah.
So
what were they?
You could also do some.
It was The Witcher. It was Civilization. It was, I think, XCOM has it.
I think Divinity 2 had it. I think.
There's a lot of like CRPGs that have it that are cross save. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that was a big draw, I think, to a lot of people, too. Just because I think a lot of people also... I know a lot of people who have never even plugged in their dock of their Switch and just play it exclusively handheld or have a Switch Lite. So, yeah, I mean, that's The Witcher was popular in that sense. So I hope we get another great game like that, but I don't know. It might be too late at that point. Nintendo might already be talking about whatever their next console is, or so who knows? Maybe it'll come to that. We'll see.
It's
And
exciting.
plus, Xbox and PlayStation might have a new iteration of their console.
I don't want to talk about that yet. They haven't even put out their new consoles yet, arguably. So
Yeah,
I know, but I'm
PlayStation
just saying. But I'm just saying. By the time CD Projekt Red comes out,
I know what you mean. I'm just saying, like, there's still nothing to play on the new consoles that you can't play on the old console, except for like there's probably like what 3 or 4 first party games total that aren't playable on the PlayStation 4, right? I mean, don't get me started. Yeah, don't get me started with that. Our next story. Hideki Kamiya thanks Nintendo for making Bayonetta 3 a reality for PlatinumGames. In a recent interview with famous Japanese publication Famitsu, famed PlatinumGames director Hideki Kamiya said that without Nintendo's help, Bayonetta 3 would not have been possible, saying that he was, quote, really happy that his team was able to work on a third entry to the action series. Kamiya also stated later in the interview that, quote, I'm not exaggerating when I am forever indebted to Nintendo. Later in the same interview, Nintendo producer Makoto Okazaki said that a, quote, passionate video message from Kamiya and PlatinumGames was the, quote, final push to give the game a green light to Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta started out, ironically, not on Nintendo hardware, but funded and published by Sega on Xbox 360 and PS3 to below average sales, but acquired a cult following. Bayonetta 2 was actually quite a surprise when it was announced as a Wii U exclusive, being funded and published by Nintendo, of all companies. The sequel was released in September of 2014 to high praise and even... crap, I lost my place. And even a few Game of the Year awards from Destructoid and US Gamer. Bayonetta 1 and 2 were both later released on the Nintendo Switch in February of 2018 as a dual pack, where it finally found a much larger audience. Bayonetta 3 was announced at the Game Awards in 2017 as a Nintendo-funded and published project as well. Earlier this year, PlatinumGames hired former Nintendo veteran Takeo Yamane as vice president to hopefully build a better, long-lasting relationship with the company. So, yeah, I mean...
Aww.
Bayonetta, so I actually looked this up. Bayonetta, didn't even cross 1 million copies sold until it was released on Switch, the first game.
I thought it did hit 1 million because of PlayStation 3 and 360.
The series in total has only sold a little under 4 million units total before Bayonetta 3 was released. And most of that, I think it said the combined, the Switch sales has outsold everything else combined. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Hideki Kamiya's heart is in the right place in thanking Nintendo. I mean, I know we, as fans, like to kind of praise Nintendo even when they don't deserve it, but I think that Bayonetta as a character is really important to gaming, and it would have been sad if she was just relegated to one kind of, not to be hard on it, but mediocre game on underpowered hardware, And so, when Bayonetta 2 came out and it was leagues, literally the quality of Bayonetta 2 was leagues above Bayonetta 1.
It didn't have all that orange and brown.
Yeah.
Looked at the first one. Vaseline look. Also.
It was colorful. It ran at 60 frames a second. It was super fast. The writing was better. The story was better. I mean, Bayonetta, the character, arguably better. And, Bayonetta 3, I think, from all accounts, at least from the reviews I've read, is actually a really great follow-up. I think Nintendo Life actually said it was better than 2, which is high praise.
That's a lot high praise. Yeah, because Bayonetta 2, I know it didn't. A lot of people was talking about sexism and all of that stuff, but Bayonetta 2, when it came to what this like said with Game of the Year, people were saying that it deserves to be Game of the Year when it came out. I
Yeah.
mean, I know there were some other games that beat it, but it was just something that people were just like this character that didn't no one care for, and people got upset when it got released. Proves to show that Nintendo knows what they're doing when they're working with other companies and want games on their platforms. Platinum Games, they probably wouldn't have been around if Bayonetta 2 wasn't here or
Hmm.
anything.
Yeah.
They work with a company. I mean, yeah, Sega is a good publisher for whatever, but you're working with with a company who knows quality in games,
Yeah.
and
And
they didn't.
sorry, just to play off that real quick, Ed, before you continue. Like Sega was in a really rough spot in 2010 when I mean, when Bayonetta 1 came out, like Sega was still trying to figure out who they were, right? I mean,
Mhm.
now we know Sega is like, oh well, they own Atlas, so like Shin Megami Tensei, they have Persona. You know, you look at Yakuza is a huge series for Sega. Sonic is kind of finally finding his footing again, no pun intended. Like Sega's doing some really I think Sega's doing some really great things right
Yeah,
now.
if and I think Sega kind of learned their partnership when Sega started working with Nintendo because of the Sonic and Mario games,
Hmm.
Olympic games, and whatever you take from that. When Sega started putting their Sonic games on Nintendo platforms, they seen how that money was rolling in.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
like,
plus,
when you look at Sonic, though, that's like, that's a kid's franchise, and Nintendo's often associated with families and children, right? So, I mean, that's a
yeah,
no-brainer. I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah. But then Sega worked with BioWare to put in the Sonic game
oh God,
on the
I
DS.
can't believe they made a
Ju-
Sonic RPG for DS. That was,
yes, but I think once Sega and Nintendo started working together, because back in the '90s they were people made them rival companies, and of course their commercials were kind of doing whatever.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
But Nintendo helped
Ah,
Sega stay around after they became third party and everything.
yeah,
So I think Sega kind of realized that, hey, if Sony and Microsoft are not stepping up to the plate because we're a Japanese company, definitely Microsoft not doing nothing. Surprised Sony didn't do nothing. If we go to Nintendo and be like, hey, Nintendo, can we work something out? And Nintendo, like they said, we don't make mature games. But if we work with our partners who want to put an M-rated game on it, do it.
yeah.
And so they went to Platinum. They were just like, we
Well,
see potential in this game. We see
mhm.
potential in Platinum Games. Let's work with you guys, build a relationship, and yeah, regardless of how Star Fox Zero came out, regardless of how what people think of Astral Chain and Bayonetta being in Smash and stuff, you cannot deny that Platinum Games has learned something from Nintendo for
Right.
them to be able to produce the quality of games that they're on.
Plus, like,
Platinum. Oh, go ahead.
oh,
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, going back to like, you look at Star Fox Zero and you look at Ninja Turtles and Korra and Transformers and these licensed games that they did, right? Like, those aren't like, that's definitely like B team platinum in a sense, right? But like, judging by the financial issues that Platinum has had, like these are games to keep the lights on, while they're
Hmm.
working on their passion projects,
Definitely.
you know. And some of them work out, right? Like Astral Chain, huge hit, right? Bayonetta seems to be really good. Nier was like a runaway success. I mean, it sold 6 million
Yeah.
units. Like that's for a niche game like Nier to sell 6 million units. That's insane. And you got to make the game. You got to sacrifice some of your goodwill to keep the lights on at the end of the day. It's a business at the end of the day, right? Like I know a lot of gamers don't understand or don't care, but video games are a business and you got to do what you got to do to feed your families and put food in, keep your lights on and keep employees happy. And you know what I mean? Like you just
Right.
got to do that. So I
And
respect them. I'm not a huge fan of every single game they put out, but like like I said, Nier is like a gem, and by all accounts, Bayonetta 3 is really good. So
and it's since Microsoft owns um goodness, why could I not think of the company?
Ninja Theory.
Uh Ninja Theory. Yeah, now that Microsoft's own Ninja Theory and Kobe Tecmo is kind of does work with Nintendo, but that you don't see the Ninja Gaiden series no more. There is no more action style developer out there. That genre kind of has turned into somewhat the Dark Souls route in a
Well,
sense,
I mean,
a little bit at some points here and there.
you look at what Tecmo Koei is doing now, right? It's Neo, it's that Wo Long game that's coming out.
Hmm.
It's those types of games. It's not Ninja Gaiden anymore, right? Like as much as we would like to see a new Ninja Gaiden game, like that's not happening, right? We got that
No,
remastered trilogy, and I think that's about the closest thing you're gonna get.
hey, they allowed Devil's Third on the Wii U, so
It's true, and it's worth a lot of money. I should have kept my copy.
really,
I bought that. I bought
but
that game for $30, and it's worth over $700 now. So,
oh wow,
Mm-mm.
and it's
but
a piece of garbage, by the way, everybody.
it's it is interesting to see that Kamiya came out as thank Nintendo for this. Definitely with Nintendo Land Platinum do Wonderful 101. You know, given Astral Chain is Nintendo's IP, but they trusted Platinum to make that game to be like, hey, we know you guys know how to make action style games. Here's our idea. What can you do with it? Or if you guys have an IP, we'll buy it from you and fund everything. You
Mhm.
know, uh, so it's good to see that Kamiya said this. I know he was the supervisor on this game, uh, but I really feel like Platinum and Nintendo in the end probably will have a longer relationship. Hopefully, no one doesn't come and scoop up Platinum Games because if it does, it's really gonna cause a big discussion about not just what happens to the action style genre. Does platinum loses its spark, and do can gamers also lose their interest in platinum games? Because like I'm sorry, I don't want EA to have platinum games.
Absolutely not.
Mm-mm. No,
I don't want to see anything like that.
and
Nothing against EA, but I know how you treated the developers that you purchased.
mhm. I wonder.
And
I wonder. I wonder if Nintendo is considering buying Platinum at some point. Like I know Nintendo doesn't really buy studios, right? Unless they like really
mhm.
need to fit a need, right? But I wonder if that's something they're considering because that fills a huge hole in their library, you know? In
Yeah.
terms of like M-rated games and action games and
Mhm.
just games that tell story, interesting kind of weird wonky stories, I mean, I know Nier is owned by Square Enix, but like that game tells a really heartfelt story, I think. And I don't know, I feel like Platinum fills a huge hole for Nintendo in a lot of different ways.
I think Platinum Games wants to keep their independence
I
in a
see.
sense.
I would have said that 6 months ago, but you saw how they were like trying when Microsoft was making all those acquisitions, reach out to Microsoft and say, "Oh, we are open to being bought by Western studios," or like, now they're making all these hires. They hired like 3 or 4 people that previously employed at Nintendo, and they're like, "We want to build a better relationship with Nintendo and keep working with them," right? Like
Hmm.
they're clearly trying to position themselves to either be bought or have some kind of long-term contractual agreement with one of these companies. And so I don't know if they want to be independent anymore. I know like that, when they all left Capcom to form, when that Clover team kind of got dissolved and they went off to form Platinum, like that was like a huge thing. We want to be independent. We want to
Yeah.
do our own thing. But like, I think, I think they're in a space and the industry is in such a different place than it was 12 years ago when they did that, right? that like, I mean, you look how Microsoft is treating all their studios. They're all kind of like, they're owned by Microsoft, but they all get to do their own thing. They're all well funded. They all can kind of take the time they need to do their own projects. Nintendo
Mm-hmm.
kind of seems to be doing the same thing with their teams, right? Like, I think Platinum is open to that kind of ownership of like, hey, we want to be owned, we want to be funded, but we also want to be left alone type deal.
Maybe it's me, and I probably need to do some research on this. I kind of want to see, did Platinum wants this independence like Insomniac wanted it,
I mean,
or
well,
is there a
Insomniac's
different
bought
kind
now.
of independence? Right, but Insomniac had always spoken about being independent, even though Sony funded most of their projects.
Yeah, but
You know,
again,
so when
but again, you look at Insomniac and they're the same way, right? They want to be independent. We want to work on our own projects, but then they had then they did Fuse for EA, and then they did
yes,
Sunset Overdrive for Xbox, which great
hmm
game, didn't sell 1 million units until 4 years after the game came out. Right. And then
Yeah.
and at that point it was on Game Pass. So
right, and that's why I kind of wonder, was that the idea for Platinum, or is it now?
Uh-oh.
Ah, nailed it.
Uh-oh.
He's frozen.
there you
Now
go.
he's doing a thing. Yeah. So I don't know.
So yeah, that's what I want to see. That's why I say I need to do some research.
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to do something like a Shark Tank, where they're just waiting for their best shark to buy them. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, we've got good options, but I really, really want these guys, you know?
Yeah. No,
But that guy's like, nah, we're
No,
not
here's-
into it yet.
here's the thing. We're all rooting for Nintendo or Microsoft to buy them, but then you look at someone like Sony, who's going to probably come in and swoop them up because they have the money to buy them.
Yeah.
I would have said this: a Babylon's Fall would have hurt Platinum in a big time. Nintendo would have brought them. But I think because Platinum also has a good relationship with Square Enix,
Yeah.
kind of at this moment.
Well, I mean, you look at, Platinum did Nier, right? And they're planning probably planning another Nier game. They just did the remake of the first one. Like, I think Square is hoping really hard that works out. Or like Nintendo has a great working relationship with Square also, right? I mean, if excuse me, if Nintendo hypothetically, if Nintendo bought Platinum,
I was just thinking this.
and they went to Square, they can make Nier 3 an exclusive to Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a really
Isn't
interesting.
there some kind of brand? Oh, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's just a little bit of everywhere, and I think Platinum wants to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's fair. Spider-Man is kind of everywhere, except for
Yeah, I
video
had to think
games.
about it.
Ironically, only on Sony platforms.
Well, yeah,
Oh.
for now, till Disney has a game.
Well, I mean, they had like 7,000 on Activision. So
Look, can we just can they just stop?
Did EA do one?
Yeah, can we just stop announcing Marvel and Star Wars games for now? All right, just
Never.
give me Epic Mickey 3 and I will be happy. All right.
See, that right there, I'm for.
All right, these next two stories we're going to blow through because we have questions to answer. Another week, another Fire Emblem character reveal for Fire Emblem Engage. For those of you who are keeping up, Nintendo and Intelligent Systems are periodically revealing characters for the latest entry in the Fire Emblem series, Fire Emblem Engage. This week via the official Japanese Twitter account revealed Chloe, the lance-wielding knight, soaring above the battlefield on her Pegasus. The green-haired heroine is the third character officially revealed alongside Marth and Celica, though we do know other classic characters are in the game as well, like Lucina from Fire Emblem Awakening. Fire Emblem Engage looks to be going back to its roots of hardcore strategy and bringing back classic characters through its emblem mechanic, allowing them to fight alongside the game's new roster. The game is Nintendo's first major release of 2023, coming January 20th to Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
I'm excited for this game, but I'm also worried about it for some reason because I love
adding too much every week.
No, it's just like Tecmo Koei did, like Intelligent Systems like produced the game, but Tecmo Koei did about 90% of the development on Fire Emblem Three Houses. And maybe I just love those characters so much, or maybe I just really like that game a lot and what they've done since Awakening, that like when they keep saying that we're going back to our hardcore strategy roots, it kind of like, I don't know, I like the strategy elements, right? Like that's what I go to Fire Emblem for, but I also like the character building and the relationships and the, bonding of the team members to get special powers and, character development and stuff. Like it's almost like a strategy persona to me at this point, where like I want to see the character growth. I want to see, even in Three Hopes, the Fire Emblem Warriors game, like, Ed, we talk about this all the time. Shez is like the best new Fire Emblem character since Fire Emblem Awakening, right? Like, I mean,
I love her.
I know. We both played as female Shez because female Shez is the best Shez. I want a Shez amiibo, by the way. Also, I would also like that $200 statue of the female Byleth from Good Smile, but that's also $200 I don't have. So, anyways, if any of you out there are looking for a Christmas gift for me, even though it doesn't come out till April, but whatever, it's fine.
We'll give you the pre-order receipt.
Yeah,
you can just pick it up.
I would just get yelled at, so I.
You would. I would slap you, but then display it proudly on my desk.
We'll go halvesies on it.
I don't know. I'm kind of worried about this game, but at the same time, I'm going to buy it and play it and be like, well, it's Fire Emblem. It's pretty good. Yeah.
You know what? I am going to buy it. I have no worries for it. I think it's just, do intelligent systems still have it in them to make a Fire Emblem game? I think that might be the question of concern.
Yeah, it is because they've done so many Paper Mario games since then. They've done the last 3 Paper Mario games and Codenames Steam.
It's going to become a paper themed.
Right, and I personally feel like Intelligent System has made some great Paper Mario games. They're really good. They're funny. They know the core. They look great. They play great. It is what it is with those games, and depending on what people's opinion about it, like I said, it is what it is. But we know Intelligent System for Fire Emblem, and because it's been handed off to Koei Tecmo to make it, this is going to be. I mean, I understand the return to form and everything, but it's more of, do we still have it in us to make what we started with? Our core love, our design, which is Fire Emblem. We've been away from it, and so we just want to return to it and make it. Hey, look at Rocksteady, look what happened when they did the Batman Arkham games.
Yeah,
Arkham, the first Arkham game was a hit. Arkham City was a hit, and then their third game, they didn't do the third game, and people knocked it.
Origins?
Right.
Origins. They knocked Origins.
People didn't like Origins because Rocksteady didn't develop it. It's my favorite. It's my second favorite of the Arkham games, to be honest. It's got some of the best boss fights. It's got the coolest version of Batman because it's like a prequel to the Arkham games, but it's even Warner Brothers doesn't even consider it one of those versions, right? And it's like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. That game that makes me upset because I really like that game a lot.
And yeah, because wasn't it Rocksteady supposed to do a different game outside of Arkham Knights?
Yeah, it was
because they said they had.
It was they did. I mean, they're doing Suicide Squad now.
Yeah,
they did. I mean, they did Arkham Knight, and now they're doing Suicide Squad. So
All right, because they were Rocksteady. They moved away from the Arkham games because they wanted to focus on the next project, which might have been
Well,
Suicide
I
Squad
mean,
at that time.
now their leadership is leaving, so I don't know what that says or doesn't say about Suicide Squad, but Sefton Hill, that's his name, right? Yeah, is
Yeah,
leaving along with the other co-founder now.
yeah.
So
But that's the idea. It's just like we want to return back to what we love and created. So I have,
yeah,
but I have faith and belief, and I believe they're going to turn out a great game. And once again, we could be like, Nintendo, what are you doing? Here's my $60. Let me find out what you're doing. Okay, now why is this music? Why is this gameplay? Why is this storyline? Why are these characters? Why this and that? I love or hate.
yeah,
We never know. It's a good, and I think a lot of people who got into the Fire Emblem series, I think because Intelligent Systems did do Awakening, right? I
yeah,
believe.
yeah.
I
The last Fire
Yeah.
Emblem they did before this was Fates, I think.
was Fates.
Yeah,
Yeah, and people love Fates. So I kind of feel like
yeah, but people like Birthright over Conquest is the problem, and Fire Emblem Engage is taking more of Conquest and putting it instead of Birthright.
it's not.
You know.
Yeah. So I think it's just for Intelligent System, we want to remind people who we are and where we started from, and this is our series and everything. So I don't have no concerns. It could get sevens or eights. It's a intelligent system. They know what they're doing. They may even incorporate something that we've never seen. Who knows? It's Nintendo and the intelligent system. They're wacky.
Yeah,
They like to try stuff.
yeah. So we'll see, but I'm
We'll
still gonna
gab
get it.
about it on Nintendo Power Block. Don't worry,
Yeah.
everybody.
Right. It will happen.
It's true. Speaking of another strategy game, Deadpool, Venom, Storm, and Morbius headline Marvel Midnight Sun Season Pass, which I have an issue with, but we'll talk about it in a minute. So for Axis deck building strategy RPG, Marvel Midnight Suns will be getting its own season pass. The post-launch support DLC will highlight a few characters already shown off in the trailers, including stories and character packs that revolve around Deadpool, Morbius, Venom, and Storm. Purchasing the season pass will also grant instant access to 23 skins for existing characters like Captain America, Iron Man, and Blade. Marvel Midnight Suns hits Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 this December, but won't hit Switch and last generation consoles till sometime in 2023.
I just say I don't care. This game's gonna get canceled in 2023, so
I
I just don't care.
Do you
I,
think? Do you think that?
I think the Switch version might get axed at some point, honestly.
Ah,
And if it
dang
doesn't,
it.
at this point, like I think that it's just not going to run very well.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with this though is that the season pass is they have characters that they showed off in the reveal trailer for this game. Like the
Yeah.
DLC, like Storm and Deadpool were in the reveal trailer for this game. The second trailer they showed off that introduced the Spider-Man characters had Venom in it, and now that's gonna be DLC as well. Like, I don't. If you're not gonna include it in the launch game, don't show it in the launch trailers. That's my thing. I
Yeah.
don't. I
That kind
don't.
of makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I think like Deadpool was shown off in the very first trailer. Deadpool's like the second character you see. So why is he DLC now? You know, like if he's the second character you see, why is he DLC? Why is Storm
It's 'cause he's
DLC when
cool.
you showed her off in the first trailer? You know,
Yeah.
Storm, by the way.
What I feel like this is that they're trying to show you all the good characters so that whenever you get on there, that you're like, oh crap, I have to buy it. Well, I've already bought the game. I might as well buy the DLCs.
I get it, but like Marvel is so
But that's
full
just a
of cool,
ripoff.
like Marvel is so full of cool characters that like I don't think you need to do that for like Don't if
No,
I
they
think
shouldn't.
Deadpool. I think so. You look at the launch lineup of characters for this game, right? Blade, Wolverine, Iron Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange, and I think there's like 10 or 12 characters to start off with, but like, don't show Deadpool. Like, Deadpool is cool enough to have his own reveal for a DLC. Don't show Storm. Storm is a cool enough character to show off for a DLC, right?
Yeah.
Venom, definitely a cool enough character to show off for their own DLC. Don't show these characters if you're going to relegate them to DLC. Just don't do it. Like,
Yeah.
hold off, and then when you're ready to show DLC or say, hey, here's the season pass, like, show them off.
Then show them. Yeah, makes sense. I think it's just a scammy way for them to get more money.
And it is. And like, I get it. Maybe development changed partway through. I mean, this game's been delayed like 3 or 4 times at this point already.
That's what I think.
And
I agree with that.
And maybe this gives them more time to work on these characters, but it's just like, I don't know. This game just feels like it's in a lot of trouble in a lot of different ways. And don't get me wrong, it could be good. It could be great. But this DLC plan just really angers me. And the fact that like, the Switch version will probably come out and not get the DLC, right? Too. I mean, that's also a possibility. Very rare, though, on the Switch as opposed to the Wii U. But I've bought a few games on Switch thinking that I would get DLC later, and it's not coming. Like the Kingdoms of Amalur remaster that came out. I bought it for Switch because I was like, oh, man, that game's awesome. I'm going to play it and play the new DLC there. It's not getting the DLC. The Switch isn't getting the DLC. And it's like, come on. Anyways, enough complaining from me. So, that's our news.
Yay.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Who's going to read the Pack Watch? Our new segment. Our new /
Pack Watch.
Old segment.
Courtney, how about you read Pack Watch?
Oh goodness. Okay. Let me see. I gotta find it.
You find it. I'll kind of explain what it is. So Pack Watch.
Okay.
We used to have a segment on the show called Hey You What's New, where we kind of ran down a list of new games, and so we kind of want to bring. I didn't want to keep using that name, just because that crew isn't really part of the show anymore. But I still want to do like a new release segment. And so we came up with the idea, the old kind of upcoming game section in Nintendo Power was called Pack Watch. And it was like a list of all the upcoming games with like descriptions or like how far along they were in development or, stuff like that, screenshots. So why not bring Pack Watch here to Nintendo PAL block? With the notable upcoming games that are out this week.
I found it.
Good job, Courty. Okay. We're proud of you.
Thanks. Wish me luck on my dyslexic. So let's do this. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Welcome to Pack Watch, where we tell you upcoming games that are notable games out for this week. Who's ready? I'm ready. So November 2nd, Doraemon Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom.
What? You mean you never heard of Doraemon?
I haven't heard of Doraemon.
Oh, man. Where have you been?
Hiding in a rock. But Nobi and his friends are back in all new Doraemon Stories of Seasons titles. Grow crops, raise animals, and use Doraemon's secret gadgets to help friends in a fun-filled and heartwarming story that people of all ages can enjoy.
Yes. More farming games.
I love farming games, so I'll probably be playing this one. All right, next one. November 4th, Harvestella?
Yes, that's correct.
Cool. Yes, all right. In a vibrant and colorful world, players will tend their crops, befriend the town folks, overcome threats, discover origins of the world and the truth behind the NyQuil calamity among the ways. What's that word say?
Calamity. Yeah.
Calamity?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fancy.
Yep.
Now this one, It Takes Two, comes out November 4th. Is that only for Switch? Because isn't it already out, or is
It's
that
out
another
on
Switch?
everything else. This is just
Oh,
the
Okay,
Switch
cool.
release.
I
yeah.
love this game. I'm so happy it's going on Switch then. It is, let's see, where is it? Description. Embarked on the craziest journeys of your life, and It Takes Two, a genre-bending platform adventures created purely for co-op. Invite a friend to join for free with Friends Pass. Ooh. And work together across a huge variety of gleefully disruptive gameplay challenges.
Neat.
Fancy. I actually like It Takes Two, so it will be definitely something fun to be playing on the Switch. 110%. I love that game. So,
I
I
definitely
think-
will be picking up Harvesteller.
yes.
I think this is a week where I skip the games that are coming out this week.
No.
Here's the thing. Next week there are 2 games that I really want.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
And you'll
Tactics
have to find out next week. It's too late. You can't wait now.
Tactics Ogre Reborn comes out next week, and I'm very excited.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah. Talk
Is
about
it physical next week?
Yeah, it is.
I must order it. Dang it, I'm trying to save.
No, buy it.
Save your
Do
money.
Do it. Also,
Don't do
Sonic
it.
Frontiers comes out next week too, and I'm like
Ooh.
halfway interested, but also I feel like that's a game that's going to be $20 in about 3 months, so I'm going to wait on that.
Yeah.
But I still want to play it.
At the
Send me
end.
some money.
Christmas.
Guys,
send me some
Guys, I have a
money
very
for it.
important update for you. Very important update.
Uh-oh.
There's 58 seconds left in the Browns Bengals game, and the Browns are
God.
winning 32-13.
Ooh, okay.
So,
They're
I'm
gonna
just throwing
crumble.
that out there. Who's to say? Who's to say? Browns are going to Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
Yes. Anyways, continue. I just wanted to give that important update to everybody. Very important to a Nintendo podcast. The Browns. Oh, game's over. Game's over. Browns win. 3-5. Woo!
Now we're on our fancy question block.
Oh yeah, question block. Here we go.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Oh.
Wait.
Sorry.
We're ready.
It's time for question block.
Oh.
So we got a question from Sam Hall. He asks, "How big?"
Oh, you're
will
just gonna read the
Nintendo's-
questions, Ed?
Yes.
Okay.
How big will Nintendo's 2023 be compared to previous years? Will it be another 2017, 2019? What game are you looking forward to most?
Look, all I gotta say is Fire Emblem and Zelda. So yeah, it's gonna be a great year. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
I'm
a
on
great
the
year.
Zelda kick. I'm
Mhm.
ready for it.
And that Mickey Mouse platformer next year, also that 2D platformer that's coming out, also gonna be great.
I would say that it is going to be another big year. I think it's going to be almost like 20. I would say 2017 because of the monthly releases and everything. I wouldn't say 2019 because 2019 was way too much of greatness.
Oh yeah. They were getting ready for the pandemic.
You had Fire Emblem, you had Astral Chain, you had Link's Awakening, Dragon Quest 10, Dragon Quest 11, Dragon Quest 11, Deus Ex Machina. Like you had games out the wazoo dropping. September was bunkers.
All right, let me read you the Switch games that are already announced for 2023. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. January we have Persona 4 Golden, Persona 3 Portable, Fire Emblem Engage, and that's just January.
Right.
February we have Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line, which I know Ed's excited about. We have Digimon World Next Order, which I know somebody out there is probably excited for. Atelier Ryza 3, which I know a lot of people are excited for. That series has gotten a lot of. It's kind of like snuck up on people, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe,
Heck yes.
Octopath Traveler 2.
Let's
Yes.
go.
We have Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse for March.
Mm-hmm.
We have The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, which is a JRPG.
Fancy.
And then The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Not Breath of the Wild 2, everybody. Like I keep calling it. I keep calling it that.
It's because it needs to be that.
That game is going to get delayed out of May. I just know it.
I know. I have a feeling it's going
know
to be
it.
delayed too. I don't want it to, but I have a really terrible feeling. Also, Coffee Talk episode 2 is coming out next year. Disney Dreamlight
Yes.
Valley is coming out of beta.
Finally.
Disney Illusion Island, which is that Mickey Mouse platformer I was just talking about.
That you're
There's
excited
a
about.
possibility we might get Silk Song next year.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Hey,
I didn't like Hollow Knight. Sorry.
but I mean,
No.
I can understand that. That's fine. But I think with this showing that Microsoft's
No, I know Silk Song. A lot of
and
people are excited for Silk Song. I know that. I like to be the pooper on certain games. So,
Mhm. You are super.
Front Mission 2 remake is now listed for next year, which also means Front Mission
And
3
3.
remake is listed for next year. That Metal Slug Tactics game next year. Although there's some reasons why I don't know if I want to support that game or not, but that's a different story for a different day. Mega Man
it
Battle
is
Network
next
Legacy
year.
Collection is next year. Mina the Hollower is scheduled for next year, which is the follow-up to Shovel Knight, which I'm super excited for. Everybody, if you don't know what Mina the Hollower is, it is the developers of the original Shovel Knight game are making a
Yacht Club.
Game Boy style Zelda game
Sick.
revolving around this mouse named Mina. So think of the Game Boy Color version of Link's Awakening starring a mouse. And that's what you're getting. And I'm super
With
excited.
Castlevania
What?
thrown into it. I think with Castlevania thrown into it, because I think it's like a whip that the mouse in the use.
Yeah. Well, So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Pikmin 4 slated for next year.
Heck
Oh, I
yes.
can't wait for that.
I know, dude. Pikmin 4, I'm so excited. Rune Factory 3
That's something
special.
we should stream.
Yeah. Rune Factory 3 special next year.
Yes.
Let's see what else is. There's so many things for Switch next year that it's just crazy. So yes, and all in all, Super Bomberman R2 next year.
Mhm.
Tales of Symphonia remastered next year.
Yes. Yes. I don't care if it's the PS2 version. I just want this game on my system. Bandai Namco, you need to fix it. Fix it.
Ed,
Nintendo, throw them some coins.
Ed, there's a game for you called Thirsty Suitors. That's probably for you.
No, it's not. I'll watch the trailer later.
You suck at parking also next year. So there's a lot of great
Hey,
games.
that's a game for me.
Look, I would say this: the game that I'm looking forward to next year is definitely Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Like,
yeah,
I'm ready
no-brainer.
to, I'm ready to dive in. Of course, it tells us so funny, but I'm ready to dive in and have these 2-month conversations about this game, about what people did, what is the story. Is it another 10 game of the year?
It's going to be.
Oh.
Uh-oh. All right, so next question?
Yes. So our good friend Jack Geek Bro 27 asks, what's the best candy to go with gaming? I could honestly say, I'm going to answer this one. For me, it's the Lifesaver Gummies Wild Berries.
Oh, yeah. That would be a good go-to. I would say Pockies.
Which one though? Because I
like the chocolate-covered banana ones.
Oh, yeah.
I'm allergic to the strawberry one, so I can't say that one. And the cookies and cream.
cookies and cream one. See, I can't gang with the cookies and cream one because I've been like the box will already be gone before
Right.
it's the gang is
I feel like the
the cookies.
banana one I could take my time with though.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Just enjoy
uh,
all the flavors of it.
yes. But definitely. Oh, here go Corey. Yeah, definitely those. Yeah, Pockies are so good. Just
They
love
are.
them. Uh, yes.
Uh-oh.
So Corey, what is the best candy to go with gaming for you personally?
Oh man, candy. Hmm. Here's the thing. I don't really eat candy when I'm playing games.
Hmm.
I'm more of a. I really like a good chips and salsa, or like a good like I don't know. I don't really eat candy when I'm gaming. I eat candy every other aspect of my life, but not video games
What
apparently.
would a
Um
cookie do?
I mean, I
Candies even be
guess
cookie.
uh I I don't know. I don't know. I do enjoy Mike and Ike's. I gotta tell you though, Mike and
Mm.
Ike's are good. So they make packs of all purple called what are they called? Like something Joe's, and they're Mike and
They're the
Ike's.
grape flavors.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
I
the
know what you're
grape
talking
ones
about.
have a special name to them, and I do like those. So I guess I'll go with those.
Perfect.
Okay. And Safi from Lore Together podcast, do check them out. Love their work. Asks, what flavor do you think the candies given out in Animal Crossing are? I'm going to give this one to you, Courtney, because I
Hmm.
have no idea. I'm going to say peppermint and just go run
Mm.
with that.
I
I'm
think
gonna say
like
they're
the
the ones.
Halloween candy.
I'm gonna say that they're the ones handing out candy corn and the peanuts.
Well, they're like in like a cute little like candy wrapper. So I would say
Mm,
like
that's how they get you.
jawbreakers, like I don't know, like
Mm.
elegant little. There's something to like little
Soul
suckers.
smashers.
I
Yeah,
love it's the butterscotch that's in that
oh,
yellow
that's
kind
what
of
they
thing.
are.
They're
They're butterscotch.
they're called regret and sadness.
110%. No, those are old people
Corey,
candy. Those are perfect.
That's
did you
that's
just
that's
say
what,
it's called regret and sadness?
yeah. Just like my ex-girlfriend.
Shade.
Just kidding, everybody. Yeah, no, I hate Animal Crossing. I was talking about this with my friend Emily the other day, and she just got
Can't
Animal
stand you.
Crossing. She, we were talking about Animal Crossing, and I told her that I hate Animal Crossing. She just got it, and she was asking me about it. I'm like, look, this is the one Nintendo game that you're asking me about that I don't play because I absolutely
You
hate
go
Animal
through
Crossing.
one season of the game instead of all 12 seasons just to
12
pick that you
seasons?
hate the game.
12 seasons?
Well, 12 different holidays, right? 12 different months. There's 12 different things that happens each and every month. Every month is different. Every week is different.
Not for me because I don't play.
Well, skip Easter. Don't play it in Easter.
Nope.
Well, everybody, that's gonna be it for Nintendo Power. Courtney, where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok and Twitter at Courty_yikes.
Corey,
where can we find you?
Running away from Tom Nook for the rest of my life.
Oh, Lord.
You can find me at I am Corey HC on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find me doing things here on the Boss Rush Network.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at that Retrocove, where I have posted my version of Tom Nook and my version of Adam Hunter for Streets of Rage 4 for Halloween. So guys, check that out. Also check out my Instagram. Check us out on Discord. Check us out on bossrush.net for more Nintendo Power Block news and clips and things like that. And also check us out on YouTube at Boss Rush Network. Check out Expansion Pass on our YouTube channel. But if you want to get early access, become a Patreon just for $1. You get early access for our shows and other podcasts like we mentioned, Talk the Walk.
Yes.
1v1, and more. With that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. We will see you in November.
Ooh.
Because this is almost getting time for our Game of the Year discussion in
Guess
a
I
couple
better
of
play
weeks.
some games that came out this year.
Yes. So,
Considering I've only played, 3, maybe.
But with that, everybody, have a great weekend. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time on Nintendo Pop Pod. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.